Say hello.
Done.
All done? I'm all done playing. Now I have to talk about it. Okay, see you guys.
Yeah.
Bye. My little boy butted it on that one. Okay, so I'm here today to talk about vibrato. He wants to come hang out. So, vibrato. There's different types of vibrato, different ways to do it with your hand, your fingers, and your wrist, and different joints that involve in it. I'll get started with the main one that I do. So I tend to do kind of like the blues rock world vibrato, which is really common, where you're putting the fulcrum point of your hand up against the neck like that. And now, whatever finger you're using, you're gonna wiggle from your wrist though. So here, let me turn up. So it's all coming from my wrist. This is wrist vibrato, like that. And I'd practice doing this with all of your fingers. You know, go down different strings, pick first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. Now, the trick to this is you have to pick which direction you're going. So you're either going up, 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 up in a row like that, and you're thinking of starting in an up and repeatedly going that direction, or it's the other way. You're going down, down, down with every wiggle. So if I go down with my first finger, it'd be like this. Down, 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 down. Or my third finger. So I'm aiming down. The other way. Now if I go up. Up, 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 up. So you have to pick a direction. Sometimes when people are new to this, they don't think that they have to pick a direction, so they kind of just hope that it happens. And what'll you might happen sometimes, and you don't even realize why it happened, is you kind of can't find the direction. So make sure you pick a direction and you get used to doing this. Certain strings are better for certain directions. So like if you're on the top string, the high E string, if you go down, you could pull the string off the fretboard. So you're gonna wanna go up on the top string, like that. The second string, it's kind of up to you, but I usually like to go up as well. And then I usually go up on the third string. Sometimes with my first finger I'll go down and do that one, which is kind of a common, that kind of thing. So I'll pull down with my first finger, but the other fingers I tend to go up with, like that. And then the other strings I kind of all go down. So if I hit my third finger on the fourth string, it'd be down, fifth string would be down, and then sixth string, same thing, but the opposite. So if you go up, you'll go off the fretboard. So I go down, like that, okay? So that's the main style that I like to do, that I'm comfortable with, that works with me and with my hands. There's other ones you can do. You can do a floating vibrato, which is where your hand has some space behind it, and your thumb could either be touching the neck a little or completely floating. This is more like the Eric Clapton style. There's a few other guys that do this. It's not quite as popular. It sounds really good. That's not really my thing though. I think it sounds great, but it just isn't my #1 go-to vibrato. Philip Sace does that really well. He's got a good vibrato, like that, a floating vibrato. If you haven't heard of him, check him out. He's a fantastic guitar player. There's also side-to-side vibrato, which is more of the classical style. Imagine if you played like a violin or a cello, where you're pushing kind of hard and you're actually rotating side to side. This one's not as potent. The wobble is not quite as wide as like if you were to go up or down like that. You're not really bending the strings so much, but you're pulling on it. So you still hear it. It's a little bit different type of vocal quality to it. If you look up some old stuff like Al Di Meola playing, he'll do that. Sometimes you'll catch Peter Frampton doing it. It's got a cool sound. You got to push kind of hard though to get the effect to kind of come out a little stronger. Then there's finger vibrato, which is where you're actually using the finger joints and you're pulling down with the finger like that. I don't really do this one as much. Sometimes, depending on how my hand is angled, I might grab a note and just give it a little vibrato with my finger joints like that. But a lot of the times, I'm already in position for the wrist vibrato, so I could just go like that and wiggle my wrist and get the same effect. So just be aware of that one. I feel like this has a bad habit with it because you could have too much where you're pulling with your fingers like that, and usually when you're God, he's really upset today. Usually when you're pulling with your fingers like that, it's a kind of a bad habit because then you start pulling strings out of tune and stuff. Like if you start trying to give vibrato and you start pulling with your fingers, you might get it, but it might be a little wide and it might not have the best control to it. So just be aware of that one. I would use the finger vibrato one more subtly unless that's something that feels really natural to you. The last one is circular vibrato. I don't do that one at all. This is like the Steve Vai vibrato where he actually like wiggles in a circle like that. It seems to be a little bit more popular with players that are kind of in his genre, a little bit more of like a shredder or heavy metal or maybe even like a prog rock type of thing. So you look into that if you're into that kind of thing and that sound. My main one though is the wrist vibrato, so I do that a lot. And then what you can do with these to get them stronger so that your wobble, when you do the vibrato, you want it to be smooth like this. You don't want the wobble to just kind of be all over the place. So what you can do is, in the beginning, it's nice if you set up a metronome, set it up so just do quarter notes. So if it's going click, 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 set it around 100 or so, and then pick which direction you're going to go. So say if I just do with my first finger, I'm going to go down, and I would do it with every click. So click, 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 just like that. Then do it with the other fingers. And it's not going to really sound that great. It's almost going to sound like you're playing kind of like drunken guitar. Like it's like whoa, whoa, like you're on a boat swaying around. But that's good. That's what you want. You want the string to fully bend, and you want it to do it in rhythm, in time, along with the click. So you can do this on any string, anywhere, with any finger, really. It's going to be hard to do bends or vibrato on the first fret because it's really tight right here. The strings kind of come over the nut and there's a lot of tension right there. It's also going to be hard to do this on like the really high strings way up here. So in the beginning, kind of practice more around the middle of the neck where the strings are actually a little bit more pliable and a little looser. That'll help a lot. And then you can do different subdivisions too. So once you start getting comfortable with this and you do the kind of what I call like vibrato push-ups, or I do this with bending, I call them bending push-ups, is where you do it with the metronome and you do it over and over like that. Do like 4 to 8 reps, when you're doing it. So count along with the metronome and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then move around the other frets. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can do that, get comfortable with it, increase the speed, move it around with the metronome, all quarter notes, right? Then you can do the same thing with eighth notes. So click, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on, like that. Usually counting about 8 is good. It's enough to kind of give you enough time on each note. Vary it up. If you want to do 4 counts or you want to do 20 counts, it's up to you. I suggest not counting too high though. You might mix yourself up. You don't really want to worry too much on the counting as just the rhythm and keeping it consistent. So you can do that. You could also do triplets. I find a lot of people that I listen to that their vibratos are really nice and pleasing to listen to is actually kind of closer to like a triplet. So if you're doing that, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, triplet, 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 triplet. Do that one a lot. That's kind of good because it kind of breaks away from just the common even, 8th notes, 16th notes, things like that. You could do 16th notes too and do 4 rotations per beat, but it's going to get kind of fast, so you want the tempo to be a little slower if you do that. But practice all those, quarter notes, 8th note, triplets, 16th notes with a metronome. This is really going to help solidify your ability to feel where you are with your subdivisions within the beat and not just have a random vibrato that a lot of early or intermediate guitar players have. You want to have control of your vibrato. Then the next thing I would do is once you start playing freely, like if you start playing phrases, let me turn back up. Start trying to just sing however it feels natural to you. Sometimes you might want to do a slow vibrato or hold a note and then add vibrato to it, you know. Add like the tail end, right? Or you might want it to be really fast to have more of an effect. It's up to you. It depends on kind of the song and the genre and stuff. And so allow yourself to get away from the subdivisions, you know, and the metronome practice as you get better at this. Kind of favor which ones you like, but kind of let it all go and let the music dictate and let your ear dictate what needs to happen. That way you're not just always doing like a default eighth note vibrato on everything. It'll make you more musical if you're kind of doing it in a way that fits each tune that you're playing over. That's pretty much it for today as far as vibrato stuff goes. Leave some comments below. Let me know if you liked the video. Please subscribe. You can follow me on my website. I teach private lessons under Rockstar Guitar Lessons. It's all that stuff's below. But yeah, leave me some comments and hope to see you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.